Hi, Blood Advocate. This is a response to your video, Fuck the Wealthy. I'd like to apologise first for this crackling. It's just my webcam. I can't do anything about that. So I'll try and speak clearly and loudly. What I'd like to say then is broadly that I agree with your anger. I think it's justified. I don't consider myself as being really poor, although as a teacher I could probably say that I'm part of this kind of middle class that's been getting more lower class in recent years. And there's a general movement in all countries, I think. There's been a general movement over the last few years of the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer. This is definitely partly due to the international context of globalization and how that's organised, with companies competing against other companies internationally, but it's also a result of government policy in particular countries, because we know that in some countries the situation's much worse than in other countries. We know that in the United States over the last 7 years things have definitely been getting a lot worse for people at the bottom of the society. So what can be done about this? I think you're right. We have to take action, and I strongly believe that it's impossible to take any effective action alone, and that we're always stronger when we act together with other people. I think one thing that you can be pretty sure of is that you're not the only person who's feeling this anger. I think your reaction is totally justified in terms of the fact that people at the top of society have increased the difference in between the rich and the poor, to the extent that the people at the bottom of society are being denied their dignity. They don't feel any longer like they have a stake in the society, or they have any control over their own lives, and so this anger is exactly the right response to the situation. So I think you can be pretty sure that there are a lot of people who share this anger out there. You're not alone, and what has to be done is for people who do share this anger to get together and to take action. Now, there are different ways of taking action in response to this kind of situation. Either you can take action with, you can join a group that takes action on particular issues. Certainly if I was in the United States, I would be taking action on the situation of the prisons, which is unworthy of a civilized society, and I'd be acting on the issue of the war as well. It's well known that in a government which is largely controlled by big business interests, that both the prisons and the war are means of channeling some of the energies of the working classes that would otherwise be used in political opposition. I have even heard people expressing the opinion that the war in Iraq was started in order to get George W. Bush re-elected. I don't know to what degree that's true, but certainly even if it's only partly true, it certainly worked, as we saw him getting elected with a big majority the second time. Two things that war does to cancel out any political opposition. The first thing is that war takes a lot of people from the bottom of society and sends them out to fight the war, and to use their energies in that way. And the second way is that war distracts the opinion of the general population and gets everybody behind the war effort in a kind of patriotic fervour, rather than paying attention to their material issues that are going on at home. So war is connected to, in this way, to the situation of what's happening on the domestic front. So apart from taking action on individual issues like that, you can also, there's another way of acting. You can take action on a political front, in other words, supporting a political party or candidates who share your ideas and who share some of your anger about the situation. The problem, of course, is that in most so-called democratic societies, the political game is wrapped up by political parties that are already established, so it's quite difficult to go outside that framework. I do think there's something which has some promise, which is happening in the United States, and I'm talking about Barack Obama, and not just about Barack Obama, but about the movement that's behind him. I think that's even more important, because I think a lot of people have got behind his candidacy. A lot of young people, and a lot of people who will have an influence on the actions he takes, because they'll be putting pressure on him to act to improve the situation of the people at the bottom of the society. I don't think that Obama will radically change the situation for the people at the bottom of society, but I think he'll move things in the right direction, and that's important. And he does have a realistic chance of being elected the president. So, if I was in the United States, I'd be backing his candidacy. I'd be part of the movement, getting people out to vote, spreading that message, and so on. Of course, you can only, in any society, you can only enact the political changes that the society is ready for. I think the American society might be ready for Barack Obama and what he stands for. I don't think it'll be ready for anything that is any more radical in terms of improving the situation of people at the bottom of society, but it would definitely be a mover in the right direction. So that's one thing. There's also, I think, apart from getting together with people in your own society, I think it's also important to have an international movement. This already exists. In fact, it's been called the anti-globalization movement, which isn't really against globalization, it's just against the kind of form that globalization has been taking, and I'm part of this movement here in France. And I think we've made quite a bit of noise, and we've made our voices heard, and we've put a certain amount of pressure on international leaders. At Davos, for example, we've got kind of a foot in the door there. And on the question of the debt of poor countries, of course things need to move a lot more, but things have got moving in the right direction there. I think more people who join this movement, the better. So I think there are some ways of acting. So my message would be to you, definitely get together with other people locally. I'm absolutely certain that there are people who share your anger and your ideas for moving in a different direction, both locally and nationally and internationally. So I just say stay active, stay motivated, and stay strong, and that's the way that we can start to reverse the movement of the last few years.